Yo, yo. Ora pois, estamos de volta. Mais um dia no Hogwarts. Bora lá. Opa. Vamos lá ver. O que é que vamos fazer hoje? Foda-se, mas gosto para caralho desta capa. Eu já fiz todos aqui.
Revelio.
Acho que sim. Faltava era fazer nos outros sítios.
Revelio. Revelio.
Dick thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Revelio.
Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin.
Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Confringo.
That's that. Settled.
Revelio.
Potato! Confringo!
Confringo!
Incendio.
Confringo!
Revelio.
The fuck? Eu recebi XP por causa dos outros estarem a matar. Ok. Why not? Vou dizer que não.
Revelio.
Call out for me all you want. I shall be off spending me spoils in Hogsmeade.
Revelio. Confringo. Accio. Glacius. Defendo. Glacius. Levioso. Descendo. Confringo. Accio. Incendio. Revelio.
I tell you this. Hogwarts is lucky they've got protection charms.
can do this. I can do this. They will want to help.
Is this where we're meeting the centaurs?
Well, they don't exactly know we're coming, so it's less of a meeting and more of a surprise, I suppose.
Once we tell them about the Snidgets, they'll understand why we came and they'll want to help.
I hope you're right. Perhaps they'll be able to tell that we're sincere. There's something about them that's so knowing. It's almost unnerving.
I suppose they are known for having an air of omniscience.
That's exactly the right word. I just... Never mind.
What is it?
It's nothing, truly. We've no secrets to hide.
That's right. We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they?
Yes, of course. You're absolutely right. We'll meet with them, tell them about the Snidgets, and I'm sure to all be fine.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Please! We were hoping to speak with you.
Ah, I suppose you'd like a tale for your friends of the time you spoke to a centaur, and it spoke back.
No, never. We're here because we need your help.
Enough! You made a grave error in judgment in coming here, little witch.
Leave them be, Alec. We do not harm the young. It is not our way.
You forget your place, old fool. I'm the leader of this herd, and while you cling to our way, their kind continues to slaughter beasts like us without a care!
From what I can see, they have slaughtered no one. They will leave here unharmed.
Mark my words, Doran. If I ever see them again, it will be all 3 of your heads.
Foolish children. Do you know what happens to wizards who wander here? Now, follow me before
Golden Snidgets are still alive, and the poachers are after them. They know that the key to finding them lies in the moonlight, but they don't know what that means, yet. Please, help us find the Snidgets before the poachers do.
Could it be? In the south, there is a cave within which lies what the poachers seek. A moonstone. Retrieve it and place it in the henge in the forest. I, on the other hand, must go speak with the herd. Find me after you have done this.
I don't understand. So the moonlight mentioned in the journal doesn't refer to actual moonlight, but to a moonstone. What do moonstones have to do with Snidgets? And why was he so certain about where we could find one?
Isn't Moonstone all around us? Why retrieve one from a cave?
Knowing centaurs, I suspect he's referring to a specific moonstone. We'll likely know it when we see it.
I don't know, but I am inclined to believe him, what with his being a centaur and all.
I am too. It is a shame how quickly he left. What was his name? Doran.
That's what the leader of the herd called him.
Well, if Doran knows something we don't, I'd rather act now and ask questions later. I can head to the library and start looking into the cave he mentioned. I'll let you know what I find.
Ok. Sei que, ok. Ia haver um bocadinho mais. Os vistos não. Tá bem.
before I invented flu powder.
Revelio.
The castle must have been quite stately in its time.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Revelio.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and am trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Please tell me you didn't take it. But perhaps
Revelio.
it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill.
Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Oi, mojão. O servidor está a cair. Como assim? Mas isso nunca aconteceu. Espera aí. Deixa-me ver, investigar aqui o que é que se passa. Espera aí, mozão. Sim, eu estou a perceber. Estou aqui a investigar, mas não estou a achar nada. O que eu estou aqui a ver na net está tudo a dizer que os servidores estão a funcionar bem, mozão. Isso é bué estranho. Isso parece ser um problema mais do teu lado. Porque, ok, isto ainda está a atualizar, mas isto está aqui a dizer que os servidores estão todos a funcionar, está tudo bem, tipo, ninguém está a ter problemas. Mas espera aí, dá só tipo um minutinho para isto atualizar. Espera aí, vou só acender a luz. Olha ela, que engraçadinha. Mas não, mozão, tipo... Isto está a atualizar e está a dizer que, tipo, que os servidores estão todos a funcionar. Não estou a perceber. Experimenta lá outra vez. Pode ser que o... Pode ser que tenha sido alguma coisa temporária. Mas... Se ainda assim não tiver a dar... É bem possível que seja da tua net, porque isso... Essas coisas às vezes acontecem é quando é por causa da minha net também. Porque se for o server error, eu estou a pensar, já me aconteceu umas quantas vezes também.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping, and I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of
Mas o jogo abre sequer, mozão, tu consegues entrar no servidor sequer. Ou tipo, mal na parte inicial, tipo, não dá para entrar.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
What have you been doing to keep...
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping, and I've also been trying... Of course, none of this bodes well.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note?
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but as for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Revelio.
Deixa-me lá ver uma coisa. Isto é uma cena opcional que me está a escapar ao... Rosie's Letter. Está a funcionar agora, musão. O que é que está a acontecer? Conseguiste resolver? Espera aí. Vou ser burro. Ok, estás online agora por isso. Imagino que isso agora tenha começado a funcionar.
Revelio.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow as he requested.
Unfortunately, I suspect you're right.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Revelio. Aloha Mora.
Ok. Isso é bué estranho. Queres ir Discord para ver se eu consigo te ajudar com isso de alguma maneira? Posso tentar ajudar.
Revelio.
Ok, ok. Ok, peraí, eu estou cegueta. Ah, ok, esquece. Mas entretanto, olha, não sei, pode também.
Revelio.
Também tens o Sims para jogar, mozão. É, nessas alturas é ir jogar outra coisa. dessas coisas acontecem. Não sei como mais posso ajudar. Tipo, mas eu estou cego ou tipo estou a procurar no lado errado, é isso? Não dá para passar o tempo. Ok.
Revelio.
Pois, está certo. Se a net foi abaixo, perdeste. Mas também não te preocupes que as corridas de chocobos são um bocado, como é que é dizer, estranhas,
It's not
diríamos.
like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Fuck, não dá mesmo. Não dá mesmo para mudar o tempo. Que estranho.
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Revelio.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Revelio.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward.
Revelio. Accio.
A hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Revelio.
I ought to pay that pretty little shopkeeper.
Revelio. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work. Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her.
Está aqui um feitiço qualquer.
Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Revelio.
Ok. Isto parece um bocadinho complicado, mas vamos ver. Eu confio. Qualquer cena. A gente mata-os a todos.
He'd better notice is all I can say. I'm better than the lot of them put together.
Revelio.
Brockborough's always a treasure trove. Never failed to fill the sacks. Well, that's me, of course.
It's exhausting. Standing here all day waiting to do Rookwood's work for him. He can fight his own battles.
Estava a querer ver se não entrava tipo em lutas
Wonder where he
desnecessárias,
should aim
mas.
for next. Somewhere else they're lured into thinking the Ministry will protect them.
Revelio.
I shall be shining in Rookwood's eyes when he sees what I'm
Ok,
capable
ok,
of.
ok.
Petrificus totalis.
Expulsion!
Levioso! Incendio!
Come back here! You've the brains of a troll, you!
Protego!
Ok.
Accio! Incendio!
Reducto!
Toma-te.
Presume you'll pay for that.
Revelio!
Because I've never seen such a look of fear in your eyes.
Ok.
People don't want me to steal their men.
Isto também é uma maneira.
Revelio!
Pode não ser a melhor maneira, mas. Não temos que nos chatear com a maior parte dos gajos.
Hey.
Acho que está tudo bem.
Revelio!
Tinha que achar as cartas todas. Estão dois ali em cima.
Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
The fog blighted us a bit, I'll agree. Nonetheless,
Girl's been nothing but trouble. About time we locked her up.
Petrificus totalis.
Ok.
Revelio!
Ou precisamos deixar as coisas todas. Em princípio. Já não há muita gente para nos chatear, não é?
The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back. Revelio.
Oi.
Revelio!
Accio. Wingardium Levioso.
Revelio!
What?
É, fazer este caminhozinho por 35 de gold não foi worth it. Vamos deixar aquele ali para o fim também. Mas já não há muita coisa para apanhar, mas... A última carta tem que estar num destes.
Revelio.
Ok, está aqui.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Estou a ver onde é que isto vai dar então. Olhar um shortcut para subirmos lá para cima. Hã? Ele estava. Ok. Ele estava invisível, mas.
Revelio.
Em pé. Ok, afinal isto sempre valeu a pena.
We should speak to her again. Perhaps she'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
She's determined to say nothing. The boss will deal with her when he arrives. I'll have filled a cemetery.
Ministry's never done nothing for me, no wise.
Petrificus Totalis.
Confringo. Incendio.
Expulso.
Revelio.
A lamb to the... How embarrassing!
Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Confringo. Incendio. Revelio.
Natty must be here somewhere.
A gente já viu o resto de tudo, não foi? É só olhar para o mapa e ok. Tá certo.
Revelio.
I knew you would realize everything I want for you. Speak to Mr. Raven. He will tell you what you need to do.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back.
Bem, esta flashing light de vermelho.
Broken.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Revelio.
Hush now.
Olha, então ainda bem que os fodi a todos, né? Mas vão aparecer mais. Provavelmente. Ou será que não? Um bocado de receio de ir aqui para o meio, mas. Ok, parece que está tudo bem.
Revelio.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe.
Here you are, a true patron of the arts. I think the drum improves the timbre. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Tipo, mas eu. Ok. Eu tenho um feeling que estes gajos estão simplesmente a ser pagos para não investigarem esta cena. Por causa do que o Rookwood disse naquela cutscene que tem contactos no Ministério. Mas pronto. É o que é. Agora temos que ir para esta para depois desbloquear esta. Acho que é isso o plano.
Revelio.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. I'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
Então nem sequer vamos para aquela parte sul do mapa. Ok.
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig.
Olha o gajo. What up, Saj? How you doing, my dude? Tá-se bem aqui? Pá, foda-se. Sendo assim, se ninguém me quer mandar para lá, eu quero tentar ir sozinho. Ainda não vai dar para voar. What up, what up? Tá tudo bem aqui?
Revelio.
Tranquilo. Opa, eu por acaso ainda ontem estava a pensar em ti porque finalmente acabei o It Takes Two ontem e o jogo está bué da fixe. Gostei bué. Ok, ele não me deixa subir mais que isto, mas já posso entrar aqui.
Revelio.
Eu não estou bem a perceber esta zona, tipo, eu tenho que entrar. Eu tenho que entrar para o underground para esta zona, é isso. Espera aí, onde é que está a quest sequer? Ah. Ok. The fuck? Porquê que a quest está a desaparecer? Aí é o Persona 3. Ok, ok. É assim, eu vou comprar também, mas não tenho pressa para já. Tenho outras coisas para jogar.
Revelio.
Boas outras coisas para jogar. Ok, ele não sobe mais. Eu só posso assumir que ou é um troll ali. Ou é um troll no meio do... Ok. Eu só posso assumir que a gente para ir para aquela zona temos que passar por esta caverna e que isso é parte da história, por isso temos que ir fazer história para avançar. Mas é tipo, meu Deus, a cena para mim é mais o... Olha. O quest novo. O que eu ia dizer? É pagar o full price do Persona 3. Tipo, o jogo vai estar bom, de certeza que vai estar bom, meu. Do pouco que eu já vi. Mas tipo, o full price dói-me um bocado no coração. Prefiro esperar um bocado. Deixa o gajo estar em promoção. E depois depois logo jogo, logo faço as minhas coisas. Também não estou com muito feeling para jogar um JRPG neste momento. Estou mais neste feeling assim do Hogwarts. A seguir tenho o Assassin's Creed Valhalla para jogar. Por isso ainda vou. Vai ser um bom tempo.
Is everything all right?
No, no, it's not.
Mas estás a gostar do jogo? Valeu a pena.
I'm afraid I don't follow. Who spoiled things? Also, what bells?
Professor Black ordered Mr. Moon to take down the bells in the bell tower. Said they were giving him a headache. Those bells are a part of Hogwarts. I wasn't about to let that happen. So, I asked my friend Adelaide to help me put them back.
Ainda ontem fiz isto.
We've always been a duo of sorts, Adelaide and Evangeline. Addie and Evie. Anyway, it was going swimmingly until Black started asking questions. Then she wasn't comfortable with our rule breaking. Now I'm stuck, unable to tell which bell goes where.
Mas ok, eu ontem fiz isto, tipo, só porque sim, só porque vi os gajos ali, mas pronto.
If only 2 bells are left, isn't it fairly easy to tell which goes where?
Easy for you, perhaps. I happen to be tone deaf. Mother likes to say I couldn't carry a tune if it hopped on my back like a chocolate frog. No point putting them back in if they don't sound just as they did before, for the sake of historical accuracy.
It's certainly an odd decree, even for Black, taking down the bells for a headache.
I agree. I thought it might also have been that they interrupted his hourly naps. That's all he does in his office, you know. But then I heard... Can you keep a secret?
I can.
I heard from Alice, who heard from Ollie, who heard from Eugenia, that it's because the bells reminded him of his wedding day. Breaks out in a sweat every hour on the hour. But mum's the word.
Is it really that important that the bells go back up?
Is it really that important? They're part of the school's history. Those bells likely told a young Merlin that he was running late to Charms, or called Ignatia Wildsmith to dinner. We can't simply fiddle with history. We're meant to be its stewards.
Perhaps I could help put the bells back up.
Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. The bells are in the bell tower, just above the music room. You're certainly of more help than Adelaide.
I imagine the bells are just inside in the bell tower.
Exato, eu fiz isto ontem, é só voltar para ela e entregar. Ok.
The bells are back up, Evangeline.
Ah, you're a credit to the school. I can't wait to hear them. I can't wait for the headmaster to hear them. I wish I could see his face. Future generations may not truly appreciate what you've done, but I do. And I hope that you do as well. You don't know how much this means, for me and for Hogwarts.
Ok, boa quest. Quando se anda aqui a explorar tudo, é isto que acontece. Tá bom.
Revelio.
Pois é, mas espera aí, agora que eu tinha o Alohamaru nível 3, havia aqui uma cena, yeah, a apanhar.
Aloha, Mora.
Revelio.
Aloha, Mora.
Revelio.
Ok. É uma boa diferença. É para isto que a gente anda sempre a apanhar as cenas das beasts. É para podermos fazer isto à vontade e trocar itens à vontade. Acho que só a capa é que era melhor. Ah, é melhor, mas não tenho nível. Ok. Mesmo assim não é muito melhor. O resto é tudo pior, não é? Ok. Foda-se, agora que tenho um inventário no máximo. Parece que isto enche cada vez mais rápido, ou então sou eu. Ou cada vez menos vezes vender. É porque um gajo agora apanha tipo. Ok. É só as luvas então. Era a coisa que eram os outros. Incêndio, incêndio, incêndio. Ok, o que é que temos aqui então? Pode ser este. Ok. Vamos só apanhar aqui estes dois. São os itens que tenho menos, dá jeito.
Incendio.
Oh. Oh, burro de um caralho. Agora o pássaro anda aí a voar à pala desta merda. Ah, toma lá. Ok. Não me apetece andar aqui a fazer estas cenas todas.
Revelio. I hope Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Bora lá então.
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Oh, desculpa, mozão. Gostava de poder ajudar.
Incredible. Very well. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I...
Suspeito. Muito suspeito. Mas gostava de poder ajudar mais, mozão.
How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Oh, nem posso usar Revelio. Eu já vi a sinceridade, mozão. Ok, ao menos ainda posso usar isto. Cena estranha. Posso apontar, mas não posso mandar spells nem fazer nada. Ok.
Professor, a moment of your time, please. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Oh, shit.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Okay.
Well, I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Ah, ok.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
Ok, isto vai ser. Vou-me divertir bocado nisto.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the ministry.
Ok.
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
Gareth! Mr. Weasley! What are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor! Yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago. Muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Ok, isto está a ser bem engraçado. A cena. Podemos tipo mandar à cara dos outros. Ai, vou-me divertir com isto.
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Professor Black, how are you, sir?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes! Mixed with, bubo tuba pus makes a fine, mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Coitado do homem, se ele não merece.
Something is very wrong with Professor Black. Dittany and Boobertuber pus. Moustache paste.
Ok.
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along.
Professor, a word? Professor Black? Again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Estou tentado a dizer que sim. Vamos fazer o máximo de caos possível.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a headmaster?
Temos tipo só a avacalhar toda a gente, ok.
Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
Opa. Great Hall é aqui, certo? Eu estou à toa. Estou indo na direção oposta.
My family has a lot of talking about magic can get exhausting.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
Isso é simplesmente maravilhoso. Foi um bom toque. Acho que eles perceberam que
Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners?
a gente ia gostar disto. Opa!
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Professor Fig? I shall never understand that man.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Opa, isto é muito bom, meu. As interações todas, a musiquinha. Maravilha.
Scrope's as hard a worker as any house elf.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
And now I'm telling you that you can tell me.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Ah, yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the elegant banners of Ravenclaw. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever.
Opa, isto é muito bom, meu. Isto é muito bom. Eu só quero ver quando ele voltar o caos que vai estar na escola. Uau.
Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Muito bom.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now to speak the password to the gargoyle.
Este foi forte. Acho que nunca me tinha rido tanto com uma quest aqui no Hogwarts. Meu Deus. Vou só vender os pedaços de armadura que tenho aqui, que isto já está quase cheio.
You're back. Nice to see you again. What are we looking for today?
Ah, ok. Peraí, eu estava a ser burro. Acho que já percebi o que aconteceu. Tá bem.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
I was wondering when I'd see you again.
Ok, tu não me viste porque eu acho que já não tenho nada para comprar, não é? Já comprei tudo em todo o lado. E não dá para fazer nada. Aqui também não, aqui também não. Aqui há alguma coisa. Já não me lembro. Vou ver as lojas, tipo, já para aí o quê? Há 30 horas. Não, não venho às lojas, pode ser que tenham algo novo. Nunca se sabe.
Thank you again for delivering those potions to Madame Lawing. Saved me a lot of time and trouble. I hope to see you again.
If it thinks it's got half a chance, a werewolf would be on you like both.
New instruments are expensive, you know. Why, if it isn't my most generous fan, this remarkable thing is called an accordion. Look at it go!
Mas está a faltar o tambor. Ele ainda há bocadinho tinha o tambor, ok? Deixam gêmeas. Ou é gêmeas ou é um bug.
Come in. Sorry if there's a smell. New batch of toad-hide.
Mean.
You could never go wrong with those. Good choice, I'd say.
O resto eu tenho tudo, não é? É só mesmo os de 700. Me falta.
I'll
Ok.
not mind seeing you here again. Consider yourself welcome.
Revelio.
Vamos continuar o que estávamos a fazer.
Revelio.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Revelio. Alohomora.
Revelio. Revelio.
Ok, este é o quarto da Professor Weasley.
Revelio.
Ok. Tá a ver? Foda-se, mas está uma chest aqui por baixo. Interessante.
Revelio. Revelio.
Ah, ok, pera. A ceninha azul, eu pensei que fosse uma lock. Mas afinal, se calhar era só a nota.
Aloha Mora.
Fiquei confuso por causa disso.
Revelio. 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 The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Lumos. Revelio. Toujours pure. I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. Revelio. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Falar do Sirius. Está bem.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
What can I expect to find in the book?
A story. I cannot say more. You may recognize some elements of it, as I was inspired by a tale with which many wizarding children are familiar.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time? Revelio. That must be the pedestal. Revelio. Revelio. Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald? Can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Neve. You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem. You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me. The first you will need is a cloak.
Do you remember the first life you took? Can't say I do. All a bit of a blur at this point.
In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
I should have run when I could. I'd be free by now.
gone.
Gosto bué deste estilo, meu.
I need to get out of here. Where could Neve be?
A bué fixe, parece tipo mesmo desenhado.
I need to time this just right. I see a staircase straight ahead.
How could this happen?
A ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there.
I can't stand this much longer. I need to get out of here.
E caralho, o mapa
Best move while I can.
acabou de encher
Neve
deles.
must be here somewhere. Too many. I must cross this road as fast as I can.
Holy shit. Eles são bués.
That's where I need to go, but I need to find a way past them.
Ok. Só foda, os pássaros que voem.
Nothing this way, but more danger. There must be another way to find you. I need to turn back. There's no getting past them that way. That doorway looks like the only safe way forward. Closed tight. No way but forward, I suppose.
Tipo, aquele sentimento de não poder atacar nem nada. Causa-me sempre alguma tensão, algum stress. Oh shit. Então e agora? Ah. Como é que eu vou sair daqui?
Now's my chance.
Se ele corresse? Ok. Jesus?
That's the way forward. Can this be? I think I'm invisible. They can't see me at all. I can get closer to them.
Certo, isto não é o feitiço, isto é mesmo o cloak. Eles não me veem quando me aproximo.
This is the way forward. Finally free. Now where are you, Neve?
You have outrun death thus far, but have yet to find me. Keep searching, but this time you will be unable to hide. Wield the wand you see before you. Do not squander its extraordinary power.
I've never felt such power. Revelio. Depulso. Bombarda. Revelio. Depulso. Protego. Stupefy. Stupefy.
Ok, isto está a ser bué da fixe. Estou a gostar bué. Ai, dê-me só um minuto.
Revelio. Depulso. Protego. Stupefy. Stupefy. Defender. Stupefy. Descendo. Protego. Stupefy. Descendo. Depulso. Stupefy. Depulso. Stupefy. Protego. Stupefy. Defendo. Stupefy. Stupefy. Bombarda. Defendo. Revelio. Protego. Stupefy. Stupefy. Descendo. Defendo. Bombarda. Stupefy. Defendo. Bombarda. Defendo. Protego. Stupefy. Defender. Stupefy. Defender. Bombarda. Protego. Stupefy. Defender. Bombarda. Defender. Protego. Stupefy. Defender. Bombarda. Defender. Stupefy. Defender. Protego. Stupefy. Bombarda. Stupefy. Stupefy. Defender. Protego. Stupefy. Bombarda! Stupefy! Bombarda! Defendo! Bombarda! Defendo! Bombarda! Revelio. A simple stone. This must be for me.
You are far from finished. Pass through the mourners ahead. Nothing is what it seems.
I can't believe she's dead.
Dear sweet Neve. Dead.
Neve, why?
We won't be the same without her.
You found me, but you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self. But there is no light without shadow, as there is no shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should. Remember that as you witness my memory.
Isadora, what you did for your father was remarkable.
Wasn't it? And Percival needn't worry about the strands of emotion or the traces that this magic leaves. I found a way to contain all of it.
You haven't stopped.
Goblin Silver.
You spoke to a goblin about this.
Don't worry, he has no idea what we're containing.
We don't know what effect any of this may have. The emotions, the dark traits.
You sound like Percival. And as it happens, I do know. It is a source of strength, of focus. Somehow it enhances my ability to wield magic.
I don't follow, Isadora.
I think we can harness it?
Power like this is not to be toyed with. In the wrong hands,
You saw what I did for my father. Neve, imagine the good we could do. Everyone is in some kind of pain.
What are you doing?
Breathe it in. Can you feel it?
Oh, Isadora. This must stop. All of it.
You've kept this power to yourselves for so long because you fear it. I choose to embrace it.
Revelio.
Is it true? Has someone completed the first 3 trials?
It is, and I have.
But you are so...
Young? I know. You must be Professor Bakar.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed, was Isadora inhaling painful emotions?
She was.
I found it disturbing. But how did she gain power from it? How did she harness it?
It was disturbing. Although I wonder that you are asking about her power. I hesitate to reveal the location of my pensive to someone who, perhaps, has yet to understand the responsibility of power.
I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, what you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizardkind. We have no time to waste.
I see. Nonetheless, the knowledge you shall gain after you witness my memories is too valuable to share without further consideration. I shall require time to confer with the other keepers.
It seems we have no choice but to wait, frustrating as it is. I heard what you told Professor Bakar. Isadora was inhaling emotions to gain power?
She was. And she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission.
Monstrous.
What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver.
The repositories?
Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragball.
5 names? The Keepers, and who else? Isadora Morganac?
Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle.
If the Keepers won't tell you where the next trial is yet, I say we at least maintain a watch on Ranrock. Perhaps he'll lead us to more information.
Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm.
I knew it would. I may have done too good a job distracting Black. I had no idea he can't hold his fire whiskey.
I shouldn't have reacted so bitterly about your goblin friend. I apologize. I hope we can finish what we started with the triptych. Please meet me at the southern coast. We can search for the final canvas piece.
fuck? O que é que foi aquilo? Ok. Tenso isto. Agora. Ok. Não é um monte de side quests, mas. Temos algumas quests para fazer, mas. Eu acho que vou só começar e depois. Vou parar por aqui. Ainda tenho algumas coisas para fazer. Mais tarde, provavelmente. Oh, que caralho! Mais tarde, provavelmente voltamos.
Has some exciting news to share.
Olha.
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you had an idea.
Indeed, Deke does. Deke knows that you want to learn about all sorts of beasts, and Deke recently heard rumors of a phoenix nest in a nearby mountain.
A phoenix nest? I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix gnat he mentioned, the one Harlow and the poacher pack are after.
Deke would not doubt it. If Deke has heard of it, surely the nasty poachers have as well, which means it could be in danger.
Well, I'd better go and rescue it then, hadn't I?
Deke thinks so. So majestic a beast should not fall into such vile hands. Deke is not sure why, but Deke feels that saving a phoenix might help to make amends for what happened with Deke's prior master. Deke hopes that you are able to find the phoenix and bring it to the room where it will be safe.
To understand how one is expected to do the homework for Finn's class, since that would require staying awake for it.
Revelio.
Likely best to keep my head down till I finish up here. Hogwarts hasn't been the same since Have you been in any other
for Professor Bin's lecture? Forgot my pillow.
In today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effect it had on the wizard milling industry. Throughout the many goblin battles, countless wizard cloaks were lost. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the bell tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the late early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts. Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display here in the bell tower entrance hall. I recommend that all students introduce themselves to this hero of Hogwarts.
Can you tell me where I might find...
Oh yes, Grimbold. He's a fascinating artifact of the Goblin Rebellion. At any rate, he can be...
Is so dull. I'd rather be...
Revelio.
Oh yes, I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out.
The thrill of the scholarly pursuit. I know the feeling quite well. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Athbuttle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should clarify.
Revelio.
Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Athbuttle of the cheerful countenance nestled among the ranks.
These bits of broom are all that's left of a witch called Celine Wartnobby. Rumour has it, she was demonstrating her
Sir
combat
nor by slaying bloodthirsty dragons, but rather in training yards and sculleries, where his warm and approachable demeanor was celebrated
This is
by
a centuries-old likeness of Pangadon.
Revelio.
Devoted study companion. People have always loved.
Ok, vamos parar por aqui. Bom, thank you for watching. A gente volta mais tarde. Opa, e até logo.